Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon. I know we are delayed for lunch, but yeah, please bear with me. Sorry for the delays. Thanks for being here, and it's totally good to see the crowd on Saturday, especially where everyone wants to relax. Good to see all of your input towards this AI and testing. Um, I think most of you may not know definitely because we all in the small world, but we have a lot of competitions happening with all the different years of experience. A little thing about me. I'm a full stack developer for a decade and then moved into management roles and transitioned into product manager. And I believe lastly, the person was asked me like, do your 10th, do your 12th, do your engineering related that and all. So same thing, it's the learning is constant. Previously used to say change is constant. So after my engineering, after being 10 year an engineer, I upskill to my product knowledge. So I joined an MBA course which morely on the product leadership side. So that landed me a product manager role, and now I'm into that from almost 5 6 years. So I used to be a reader, and now I do blogging in Medium and LinkedIn also. So as you see, like a student, definitely we're all student, and also we can be a mentor and again be a student because it's again you go. Now we are all learning AI. Maybe if you are already into engineering and you already learned AI, then definitely you will feel after 10 years something will come. So be prepared for that. It is a cycle. I'm listening to public speaker. So it's the same thing. Now you're sitting here. Maybe in one day you come back and speak to your journey to others. So same, I was there. Yesterday even I was listening to one of the conference about the AI and the product management. Now I'm talking about the same year. Or not same, but the AI part of the functional thing. So that's why be prepared. I think this all of things will going to happen to you again. The quick agenda is we'll have a requirement classifications, then touch upon NFR and DevSecOps, and AI in NFR a little bit more deeper, and questions, the key takeaways, and definitely the questions. Okay, so you can stop me anyway. Don't feel this one. So requirements classifications, as most of you know, we do have functional and non-functional requirements. Functional requirements definitely we are not touching up here because it's all required based on your a problem what the product is solving or the pain points. So let's touch upon more on the non-functional. So non-functions how the system should perform. The system in the sense a product, a software system, or anything, even if it's a hardware or any machine also, right? What should how it should perform. Then more borders upon the system quality and the constraints compared to the functionality, right? Should be like the quality of the system, like a speaker or a mic, how it should work. That is more, it's related and broader to that. And testing is totally different compared to the functionality because you will have particular test cases or the user journey, like how to operate a laptop or how to pull and this. This are the functional things. But how you want to do a performance testing, whether it's working fine or how it's performing with the low battery or with the low energy, the electric energy consistent, and there are no degrades added in suddenly into the system. That is the ask. So reliability and availability again, it's kind of monitoring whether the system is performing and it's giving the resilient system. Like if suddenly something goes wrong, it's capable of showing back the same thing, right? That is the resiliency, what we call. Like when you have tough time, how you act or how you behave, right? The same thing applies to the system or the software or hardware. That is one. Compliance and regulator is very tricky as suddenly someone asked right to Sanjay how these regulatory systems are maintained. So again, we do have standard for GDPR and HIPAA. Again, these are all a different continent. It's not, but still the system as we use the systems widely used worldwide, right? You have to consider this. If your system is only used in Bangalore or India, you should follow that regulatory. But we are talking here the worldwide usage of systems, so we should consider GDPR, HIPAA for medical regulatories. So how you do this testing via maintaining logs or transparency and accountability. These are the things you concentrate more on this area. And it will be very challenging to do testing here and do automation or AI. So we'll come back to every column here in deep dive into testing from the AI perspective. Okay. So usability is very tricky, and I believe the overlaps between the functionality and the usability or the NFR of the usability testing, right? It's balancing the security controls and maintaining a user friendly. As we said, the feature or the product is used by the user persona, what we call, whether it's an age group or it is a country being used, or how is that, right? Or a physically challenged person is used, or something different is being used, right? Those are the usability testing areas which we have to consider when we are doing this kind of testing. I pause it here so that any questions? Actually, I'm doing the face is okay. Okay. Yeah, let's come back. As you said, right, the first column of security testing. We will go back to AI in security testing. So here you have a lot of automations or AI capabilities already built in. So what the image what I have showed is here. It's a very simple thing which happening from the Python script and the OpenAI tokens, right? The AI and LLMs is already built in. So you have a code in your GitHub and you want to make sure that security the code is fully working as per the security terminologies, right? So what you will do is you will invoke a Python script which talks to OpenAI and trigger all the security services here, which is SAST, SEA, and SBOM, what we call. So these are all the three terminologies used in the security services layers. Whether your code is towards in the deployment or building stage, and what happens in the software building cycles thing, right? So those three areas are covered in the services, and it will give an output in the actionable one. So that is like what is the vulnerability level, what is the advisory you are giving, how you should avoid this vulnerability, and what is the real-time metrics of this the project what you are trying to achieve, right? So that is tackled here. So here, as you see, the only usage is the open AI thing, right? That is why it is AI and security. Otherwise, it was a you have to train it, right? In your Python scripts, you have to give the patterns and you have to give that. So, but now since we have an open AI, that is the job that is done from the AI perspective. Okay. So, what is the use of AI in security testing is it is already like it is 70 to 80% of confidence we can rely, and also the code vulnerabilities with different programming languages or a framework you are using. So that is tackled here, and defects in the source code or the open source library, because these days everyone uses open source and it is recommended to use compared to the license. Everyone wants to use the open source thing, right? So, but how we can tackle that in security testing is highlighted here, and also the low cost for the repo of small number of files, right? If you have large number of files in a project, this a simple Python script will be having a very lot of challenge, but it should be relatively a medium thing, right? How you maintain your files thing, but still you can scale simple AI topic in the security testing by making more modular thing and also executing in a multi-layer thing. So that is the suggestions for if you are working on security testing and you want to adapt an AI concept on your regular security testing. Okay. Okay, now coming back to AI performance testing, I think this is the widely used topic. Everyone will try to do the performance testing, right? So how we can leverage AI mindset and also the tools. That is the reason these are the things what you see, right? We know we always use the automated test creations. We do the load generation. I think there are a lot of different tools. Maybe it was discussed in the before the starting of the call, or even Sanjay has given that, right? So you can use that one and do the intelligent reporting after you get all the RCA and also the anomaly detection thing, right? You should have a reporting thing and predicting the same thing, right? Either from the AI or you can do manually. and the continuous performance thing, right? This you shouldn't do one time. You should keep automating and keep running to see the performance is same, because performance is something either as a any system as a unit, it should be consistent and there is no compromise in the performance testing, especially your system is more used by the regular users outside your organization, right? And user experience monitoring is done. Especially here coming with optimization recommendation and feedback loops. And these are the two things which come away from the AI thing so that you can improve it. Again, it's a constant. Everything is the same and it should be constant. And you shouldn't stop at one time after you integrating AI and you said your job is not done. But it should be keep monitoring and optimizing it based on the reporting what you get on that, right? So that is the ask here. So reliability testing, again, it comes to a lot of tools which are linked to observability and monitoring, like this Grafana, Kafka things, right? You have as a tester or as an engineer, right? These are the different methodologies already used when you talk to any persons, either it can be peer or a manager level. You should understand these things at a broader space. That is the suggestion here for your growth and for your knowledge, because we are all here for the knowledge and to improve something on that based on the AI coming, right? So the reliability testing tools you should concentrate more on observability and monitoring, though it is used even in the development phase or from a developer engineer what we call, but still it is asked for everyone to do that. And also the load and performance tools which we get in the market, we should use that. The fault injection tools is something as you do training, right? You inject it, right? You make it fault tolerance your system. So this kind of testing is added. I know it's most relative based on the system or the product you are testing, but these are the general things should be aware in this AI world or the DevSecOps world, right? So now everything is more on the DevSecOps coming to either development or the testing one. So that is the reason this is highlighted here. Yeah, now coming to compliance and regulatory, I think there is a long discussion happening how AI fitting in the regulatory one. Whether how you want to make sure your product is compliant and according to the governance or the regulatory system. The thing is, the AI couldn't fit there, so that is the reason it's still exploratory phase or it's still challenging at testing world itself, right? How you want to test your feature, it's compliant or regulated. You can't rely on AI because the regulatory systems is internal and it is very sensitive something, right? If you're working on any government projects, so you have to be consider these things. It's very complex to automate or to use AI. That's the reason this still will be very less in the AI, but more to the manual kind of things where the data privacy and security is concerned and ethical things is concerned, right? We have a lot of dependency and over reliance on the forums. So that's the reason this is the place which you have to take it very light and not to try with any AI unless until it is recommended, but keep it very simple in the development and the testing phases is what I would say. Okay. Okay, usability testing, I think this is the wide topic which overlaps with the user experience or the functional requirements, right? So here what you should know, right? Use any AI tools or anything in general, you should know your customer who is actually using your system, right? The previously asked, right, the acceptance criteria and other things. So I would recommend everyone to know your customer, user persona, like what is their demography, what is their behavior, what is their day-to-day activities, whether it is used by a kid, whether it's used by a senior person, whether it's used by an age group, or it's a gender thing. So everything is considered here. So how you can leverage AI usability testing is you have a lot of tools which gives this kind of information, which we definitely use in our product discovery, right? To prototype anything. So you have to it is recommended to use this, otherwise it will take days or months to understand your customer and the personas. So you have a lot of AI like ChatGPT or simple things, right, which helps you to understand this usability testing to kick off these three things, right? That helps maintaining the test data and everything, right? Come back to the customizing AI, which you should focus. I think this will be a vast topic, and I think post lunch also you have a lot of sessions on this, right? How should be the paths, how should be the clicks testing happening from the AI, and what are the behavioral patterns, the repetitive actions like user login was mentioned, right? So these are the AI focus which you should rely in your testing. So this is something like the topic what I am mentioning is like what you should rely more on AI and not AI thing, right? And how's the world? It's not only me suggesting, this is the world recommendation of industrial happening things, right? So in the AI, you should focus on the feedback things. So definitely feedback is everyone wants, right? You see, we are getting feedbacks for our speakers thing also, right? The same way, everything, and you will get annual feedback, performance feedback. So these are the things which you should focus when you're testing, right? Whether your system is getting that kind of feedback things, use AI ways of testing or plugging the things with the tools is the recommended. Especially if you see recurring complaints, you see you might have given so many complaints to your PF and all other portal in government side. So these are the things which is definitely considered the complaints and how the feedback is given for the next feature development. So that how it helps in the AI world. Okay, so now this is majorly to consider. This is something for the managers or the leads to understand how you should compare your cost and rate of interest when you're using AI versus non-AI. Okay, right? The traditional testing is what I mean to say here. And what are the metrics you should consider? If you're moving to lead roles, you should consider this when you're pitching your use case that you want to buy this AI tool or you want to do this in AI way. These are the data which you make you a strong communicator in your organization, right? So what is the initial investment compared to the traditional testing and the AI powered testing? Definitely it will be more, but you will get the return of interest in the later. So that is the challenge every organization will put, whether I should put that budget here, the initial thing, or you should leverage little manual testing for your prototype and take it later, right? Or if you are a service-based company, how you want to give this to your clients, okay? The annual operating cost is definitely more for your traditional compared to this, right? And then it is compared to the mid-sized QA teams you should consider. Efficiency boost, yeah, we know AI and automation is very much helpful there compared to the manual scripts. The post-release defects, so you are testing to avoid the defects, right? Definitely you should get more value from the AI, which is reduction is almost 30 to 50%. This is what we have seen and what the data given by this blog, right, which has given for reference. So that is how it says, and it's proven. I believe most of you are already using. So that's the reason it helps in defects thing, right? And that's why we are confident to go live when we say we have done the AI testing here, or use the AI for the testing. Yeah, return of interest of the payback, you will get a huge return because based on the investment, what you do. I think you are also here based on these key takeaways, you will have a different return on investment after this 1 day of understanding, right? That is how you should calculate what's the return of investment compared to this. So keeping all this in mind, leaders will definitely you will get from your organization that this is what we have chosen for your testing, please use it. And what they expect also is right, this slide is purely for your management role or a director level role to decide what you want to do. Okay, but since nowadays it's all low to high or top to bottom or bottom to top, everyone should be aware, right? Why they are selecting this, what they are selecting this. So that is the reason I have put this slide or this information you should be as a key takeaway here. Okay, questions? I think I was flashing.
That previous slide, what you mentioned, the initial investment,
Yeah.
cost per QA team member.
Yeah.
With respect to manual manual testing investment or with respect to AI, because we have mentioned team member. So usage of AI or without AI.
No. Team member with AI power. It is like the mid size of QA teams, right? That is the traditional testing and AI power testing. So we are not doing completely like robo will come and do the testing. AI powered tools and AI
We
power.
are considering the headcount with respect to headcount.
Sorry,
Not with respect to AI. Not with respect to AI tool usage, but with respect to the headcount.
Yeah, that is the annual operating cost, right? You're talking about which one?
Yeah, I'm talking about the first one. Initial investment and the team members coming in the second.
Yeah, it's the same, right? Yeah, you are telling that, correct?
Yeah,
Additional testing is
from
for
the
the team.
operational level.
Yeah.
The headcount or the annual investment?
No. Annual investment AI power testing is without the headcount. This is for the per team member, right?
Yeah.
With infrastructure plus per team member. Like, as you see, right? 50K for infrastructure. We have to set up some infrastructure and then the involvement of a team member. But if you come to AI power testing, it's all tools, infrastructure, integration, and training the member.
Okay. Training.
Training the member, yeah.
Training.
Yeah. Any more questions? Yeah, Ruby.
So in security testing, when we saw about SaaS, they passed all of those tools, right? So there are certain, there are certain places, like for instance in Sonar, there is a setup where you can actually, there's a quality check that identifies or tests or does a quality check for the AI generated code. So that's one thing. And we also have the Psycode. Like Psycode is a SaaS industry, right? So Psycode will generate suggestions that would be AI generated suggestions. So it's like two contradicting things happening. So SonarCube is going to test the AI code and Psycode is going to suggest something that AI gives. So how do we actually choose or rely on when we are going to set this as a build prerequisite for your CI/CD?
Yeah, so the first of all, SonarCube, as you said, right? It is not for this one, I would say, because it's not AI powered and it is not giving that. It's all static code thing, right? What it is getting is. So SonarCube actually has not changed. Is fitting into this security way of AI thing, right? AI generated code or the AI itself. So most of the organization is replacing SonarCube and they are getting Sneak and other stuffs coming, right? So when you're comparing, if you have a SonarCube and also the Psycode, what you said, so you have to be a lot of analyzing what is the feature what you are doing, right? How you want to take it. Whether this report, the what you call suggestion report, right? Or what you want to, what we call it is a giving more even instruction how you want to change so that it is more secure, right? So that report definitely we should consider compared to the SonarCube. And also we should change and also relearn it in both the places if you're using both. Otherwise, you should use only one thing and not to use SonarCube for the security purpose because it's all more on the static thing and not reliable for the what you call security reasons, right? You should have somewhere if you want to use the AI power, just provide the token and write a Python scripts, which is very simple. Based on your project number of files and the project size, right? You should do that and you can rely on that. Where instead of having a third party tool or anything, right? Because definitely everyone will have OpenAI tokens from your organization. You should try to utilize even in this part of testing, not only part of other kind of ways of work. Yeah.
Can you go to the last?
Last question.
I'm just curious about the post-release defects, which you mentioned, like 30 to 50% of reduction in defect escapes. So I just want to understand like how did you come up with this calculation like 30 to 40 and
That is the industry standard. I have given the reference. I have not calculated.
yeah, because even recently in our organization also we are discussing about that, but what we understood is as of today it is not 30 to 40, it is maximum up to 10%.
Oh,
So and also like the efficiency boost also like 80% faster cycle also I felt it is a bit over.
yeah, I think it is again subjective, right? What AI powered tools you are using and which phase you are doing, right? And also, you might be doing for that you have to understand. If we are getting a less reduction in defects or maybe boost, right? But this is the what you call a threshold or the suggestion, the industry standard. So if your AI powered ways of working or the testing tools is not meeting this standard, then something you should do your review. Where you are lagging or where there is opportunity to improve, something like that.
Yeah, but as per the industry experts also like I felt efficiency good 80% faster cycle is on IX side. So
No, actually, if you see the automation and AI definitely help us in 80%, right? And also this edge case, right? So that is, since this is see, we are if you're mixing a functional testing and non-functional testing, then it's a separate one.
I'm talking only on the functional. You
No, no,
mentioned
we-
like manual scripts and the slow cycle, right? So you mentioned like traditional testing is manual scripts and now we are using the AI powered testing, it increases to 80%. So it means like if I'm able to have a 10 days of speed, can I be able to complete in 2 days, something like that? That is the
yeah, so
concept.
this is for non-functional testing I'm talking.
Okay, even non-functional testing also, consider that I have 10 days of a sprint for non-functional
Yeah,
testing.
one sprint.
Whatever the data I am seeing, if it is a 10 days of a sprint, it does mean that I can complete everything in 2 days.
That depends on the feature then, right? So if you have a one feature release in a 10 days of one sprint, if see the fastest initial setup you have to do, you have to come up with the initial set investment. If in your one sprint you can't do both setup and then the efficiency of frames.
Yeah, I'm talking about the post setup. I'm not even considering the post setup. So I'm just talking about the execution part.
Yes, correct. So I think it should work. If you have already done that, every sprint you are doing that, it will be a quicker release compared to the non-functional. There won't be any hurdles in your security or the performance, right? If you have baseline and benchmark.
But till our AI model, whatever we are developing, it is a maturity it has to have, right? I don't think like we can achieve this in a single day. We just keep on training it. Like in one of the session, I think Sagar told like, okay, like we can't leave the child just as it is. I can't expect my child after the setup to perform 80%. So even like if I consider my daughter or son, if they are getting 60%, if I train for them 1 week or 2 weeks, I can't expect to them 90. So I can start to expect only 65, 70, gradual only, right? So I felt,
So this is actually as you said, right? The which phase we are. So this is the expectation. Most of the industry who have done this, right, the benchmark, that is the proposal even. So how do we land there? That is the challenge or the phase we are currently, as you said, right? But still you can't do that, right? Even that is the ask of the from the leader whether you want to take that risk. See, again everything is risk based, right? Whether your company has the investment and capability to do this, right? You should go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you will be still in a traditional testing.
only concern what I had is we are giving the wrong expectation to the management that okay, bring up the AI tool, I can give 80% of the
Yeah, so
efficiency.
actually, see, we rely on data when we are telling to management, right? We are telling to the corporate standards. And see, here, if you come from the management, see, everyone growth is required. So, here we are giving the upskilling opportunity for the resources also, right? So, that is the ask. So even though we say the benchmark, right, we have to provide this is the data what we got from the industry. So how much we do that, we should do that of 80-20 rule, right? Even the 80% of thing, we should tell that it's a 20% of should what we say in the gradual thing, right? As an adult in this frame, you should keep on doing that information with the manager. That is what I would say.
Thank you.